What is going on, guys? FMU here. This is just a real quick tutorial showing you how to add a new team that you create into an already custom database. So downloading it and creating the club. It's very basic, but just to give you the idea of how to do it. Obviously you can look into it a bit more and try and test things in the editor when you're doing it. So let's get cracking and show you how to create your own little team in Football Manager 2017. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is you need to install the Football Manager 2017 pre-game editor. Very simple. Load up your Steam, hover over libraries, or library even, scroll down to tools, select it, and it'll open this screen up, and you just have to look through your titles, which should be in alphabetical order. If not, then just click it so the arrow is pointing up, pop it all in alphabetical order, and there is Football Manager 2017. Right click on it, install it, and you're good to go. Okay, once you've loaded up the editor, of course you will need to have a custom database downloaded. I am going to use the level 22 database I downloaded to show you this tutorial. So you click on File and click Load Editor Data and select the file. So you'll see here I've got level 22 plus FA and League Cups 2.0 just loaded up. Okay, and there we have it. It will come into a screen like this. This is actually the national rules screen. The screen you're going to need to go into is the database. Okay, and we want to click on clubs because obviously we're adding a new club. So all we need to do is simply click add. And then this is where your team name and everything comes into it. So we're just going to call this team FMU United for this. And I've tabbed across and it's instantly put FMU United in the short name. Now you can just call it FMU or whatever you want to call it in the short name, and the sixth letter we're just going to be FMUTD. Okay, and you can pop a nickname in here if you want to. I'm not going to do that. You don't want to click extinct, otherwise the club will not be able to be used, and of course we want to be in England, so we need to search it. And then this is where it's a bit different to previous years. You have to actually add a condition, so we want a name. Okay, so we're just going to put England in, and England will pop up there, but obviously whatever country you want to pop in, you pop in. If you want to add a city, you do the same again, search, add city name, and we'll just say, I don't know, Birmingham, and it'll pop up with Birmingham. So obviously it tells you what nation it's in there, just in case you got confused. So you select that, and there is that. So you can add a year found if you want to. So if we just pop in here 2016, that's fine. You can change the status, so depending on what league you're going into, we could perhaps say, if we're going to pop it in a level 22 league, which we will just for the sake of this, we'll pop them down as an amateur team. Don't need to worry about minimum age and maximum age. I don't ever mess around with those. I don't ever change the morale. But one thing I will say is, if you're going into a low league, go to the national rules, go to the divisions, and find the league that you want to put your team in. Okay, so subdivisions, and there's all of these leagues, but we'll just click on this Mid Sussex League. Despite the fact we've got the team down as being in Birmingham, don't worry about that. And you just want to have a little look. So it's the Mid Sussex First Division 9 that we're looking at here. So let's come to competitions. Okay, name, and we're just going to put in here Division 9 because it should come up easy with that, and it does. Double click on it and teams, and it will show you all the teams that are in there at the moment. Okay, so you know that these are the boys that are there. Cherry Lane Pitch 5, that's crazy. So you can just pick a team that you will replace in this league. This is the league we'll just pop the team in for this tutorial. So we'll just go with Marsfield Village 3. Okay, and their reputation is 100. So we're just going to click on this little drop down menu here, click on FM United, and we can just take out one of the zeros, and there you are. So that is the team initially set up. Next up is your ownership. So you can change whatever you want, make it however you want. I'm just going to leave it as, actually no, I'm going to change it to chairman. Sorry, leave it as chairman, but change it to, pop it as fan owned. Okay, so that's that. Then when it comes to stadium, you can select a stadium if you wish. Say we could come in here and just for the purpose of this video, we'll have the biggest ground at level 22, but we would go for, is it not St Andrews anymore? Yeah, so it's St Andrews with a dash. So we'd go with the 30,000 all-seater stadium of St Andrews at level 22, just for a laugh. And then you can check here which is your attendance, you know, so we'd say, I don't know, I'd say about 60. Our maximum would be at this level, say 200 if we had a really, really good game. Sorry, minimum attendance. No, minimum attendance would be, say, 20, sorry. And this one would be 200. And then you can kind of go through and select your training. So, say we had a 4. Youth coaching, perhaps it's a team that is really good with kids and stuff, bringing them through and everything, so you can leave that as a 10. Youth facilities, maybe an 8, I don't know. Perhaps you're going to have it so that the team, you know, is based out of a school or something, I don't know, whatever you want to do. Don't need to worry about alternative stadiums, to be fair. It will sort that out. Supporter bans is for things like in Europe and stuff, and stadium moves is if you create a new stadium on the database, then you can select to move to that stadium in the future. So that is that. Finances, I don't worry about all the other stuff, I just let them go as they are, and you can edit this as you like. So if you want to give yourself, say, £20,000 to start off with, that's that. You could allocate a transfer budget. If you don't, it will just allocate them from the money that you've got. Do you want a sugar daddy? You could have any of those, but we're not going to change that. You can add stadium rent. You can even put the club in administration if you want to. Add a transfer embargo to make it a bit more difficult. Whatever you want to do. Number of season ticket holders. If you leave it at -1, it will just kind of determine it as you go along, and you can change the prices of stuff, but you don't have to worry about all this. It will do it itself if needs be. Other income is stuff like sponsorship deals. You can add those if you want. Debts, you know, you can even go as far as adding the financial fair play records if you really want to. Player buyback clauses if you want to perhaps get a few players on the sly a bit cheap in the future. You can add that if that's the way you want to play it. Appearance money, all these sort of, you know, different stipulations. Season tickets for cup matches, which some clubs have as well, so we'll come out of that. This screen here, we won't worry about that at the moment because we're actually going to swap the clubs in a minute in the league. I'll show you how to do that. Tactical attributes, you can play with these and change them around, or just leave them as a predetermined by the game itself. Supporter profile, you can change this. So if you want the fans to be really loyal with the club, you change that to a 20. If you want them to be have the patience of a saint because it's going to be a difficult start, 20. You know, you can do all that sort of stuff. Contract types, you know, key players, you can change what they go on to and stuff, but if you leave it blank, it just goes with the flow of the standard of football you're at. In terms of kits, you can change your colours for the kits. I'm not going to do that now, but it is very simple. You know, you just click on the, where is it, change there, and then you pick all these kits. You can change the colours by clicking on here and selecting different colours and stuff, but we're not going to worry about that. That's for you to have a play around with yourself. One thing you have to remember is unless you add players and staff yourself, the start of the game will be regen, staff and board, and all grayed out players. There will be no players whatsoever. So you either add the players yourself, or the game will add you a board and some staff, and then you will have to go out and purchase every single player yourself. Relationships, this is where you can add rival clubs. So, you know, as we're a team playing in the Sussex League, but based in Birmingham, we could add Aston Villa maybe as a you know, as a major rival, and then we could have it competitive. You could select so that the teams don't transfer players. It's level 100, so that's that. Favourite people, because it's a new club, they wouldn't have any really, but maybe you want to add, say if you created a chairman and you wanted the chairman to be a favourite person, you could add them on there. Dislike people, you know, you could have, I don't know, Gabby Agbonlahor or somebody like that. Not picking on Villa, but just using them as an example because of where we set the club up. You can also, if you've got a player that you want to add to it and make him a club legend, and there you go. You can add affiliations. So if we wanted to, we could add Birmingham City to the affiliate. That'd be funny if we added Villa. Can't transfer players, but add Villa. You know, Birmingham City. You can add them in. Okay, and then start date is fine, normal affiliate. You can have it so that they pay you a yearly fee, so say £12,000 or something like that, and it adds it there. So they're the main club, and you know, you can add all these different stipulations of loaning players and so on and so forth, but I'm going to just clear that so we don't really need it. And then you can also add records if you really want to, of team goals in the season, blah blah blah, all the usual stuff, team league history, so on and so forth. It's really simple to do it. I mean, obviously I've gone for a basic. You can spend a lot more time going through the options, but that's just a real basic way of starting up your own club. So what we need to do now is we need to go to this division, and we said we were going to swap these teams. This is how easy it is. Select the team you want to swap, so Marsfield Village 3, click on swap, okay, add additional name. I'm just going to put in FMU and FMU United, pop up there, okay, replaced, job done. Okay, so next up we need to do save. Now don't save over your database that you downloaded, always save data as, and we'll just put this as FMU United. Okay, and save it. We'll go through the system and save it. And there you are, it is saved. You can test the competition rules if you really want to, but I don't do it. It's my database, I'm going to be using it, so I don't normally bother. So what we'll do now is we'll load this up, get the game cracking. I'll show you how to select it, and we'll load it up. Okay, cool. Okay, so once you've loaded the game up, obviously you click on the career mode, so you start up a new career, and from the database tab here, just select that and you'll see it's actually already pre-selected FMU United, but just make sure none of the others are selected, and if this one isn't selected, just make sure you select it yourself. It will say verified no, don't worry about that, it's not an issue. So we'll just click on advanced setup. Okay, so once you've got that set up and your manager profile is selected, you can go all the way down to the bottom, click on that, and there we are. Oh, it's actually it's actually added some badges and kits that I made for another custom database. It's obviously used the same ID number because it's a different saved version of the custom database. So I've actually got badges and kits added in there for a team that I've already created, which is pretty funny. But yeah, there are videos out there to show you how to add custom badges and kits to the game, so you can go check those out if you wish. So if you just click on that, click on confirm, and there you have it. Your game is done. Your club is in. You are ready to rock and or roll. So like I say, it's a very basic tutorial, just showing you the real, basic side of things. You can play around with it a little bit more, but people were a bit confused as to how you go about adding teams and stuff and creating them on a custom database. It's no different really to a normal database that you start from scratch when you add a team, like the standard Football Manager database. But people sometimes expect it to be a lot more difficult than what it is, so I just wanted to do this and show you how to do it so you can do it yourselves and get cracking. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you found this helpful. Please hit the like button if you have. If you're brand new to the channel, please feel free to check out the other material on here and drop me a sub. That'd be fantastic. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye.